I'm sure you've heard the news. These creatures were locked away for a reason, and some made the mistake of going where no one should. Releasing creepy creatures, having terrifying encounters, and finding shocking prisoners. What they found inside will shock you. Two friends were exploring a cave and found strange formations inside, but nothing was as strange as what they found through a small opening. This path led them to bizarre remnants of an ancient civilization, and at first, they thought they were just stone statues. But as they looked around, they saw mysterious carvings on the wall and even came across a real face pressed into the cave wall. They were pretty spooked, so they decided to leave, when they got lost and recorded this, like this media for more news. During a casual late-night walk, Josh Carter started hearing screams from under a bridge, so he grabbed his camera and slowly approached the bridge. The screams grew louder. To his right, he noticed something terrifying. A rake. It was pale with dark eyes and was crawling on all fours. It stood there, looked at Josh, and started screaming even louder. Even though the creature was pale, its muscles were visible, showing just how terrifyingly strong it was. Realizing the danger, he quickly turned and ran, desperately wanting to escape this horrifying creature. One day, a couple in Utah decided to explore a cave, but nature had other plans for them. Just as they peeked at a locked metal door in the cave, a strange dark creature emerged from the depths of the cave and looked at them. The poor couple was stunned and left the place in fear. Luckily, the camera was on, and we could see the whole scene ourselves. People often find giants, aliens, and mysterious things hiding underground, but some encounters are so bizarre they'll literally give you chills. For example, look at this strange black thing with big blue eyes hiding under a tunnel to avoid being seen. It looked like a shape-shifting alien from the Marvel universe and something totally out of this world. It's scary that it wasn't even caught, so it's still somewhere in the same place. And whatever it is, it doesn't just look wild, but dangerous too. They caught a scary creature in a cave and everyone was afraid to go near it for obvious reasons. It was hiding behind a hole in the cave and kept staring at one person to the left of the video. Apparently, this person threw rocks at it after seeing it, and the creature was described as being as tall as a tree and covered in thick black fur. To them, it was something like a yeti, but others think this cave phantom was a completely different creature. Just when ghost sightings seemed like a thing of the past, a new encounter emerged in a dark, lonely cave. A group of explorers found themselves in an unexpected nightmare. One of their friends had vanished. As they called out for him, a tall white figure suddenly appeared in the shadows. Its pale form looked like a ghost, standing silently in the darkness, as if watching them. The explorers couldn't believe their eyes. The cave, once just another adventure, had become a place of terror. In 2020, a construction worker in Nicaragua experienced something so scary it seems like it belongs in a horror movie. While working late, he came across a moving skeleton. Yes, a moving skeleton. It didn't just stand there, it chased him. Terrified and breathless, the man managed to find a hiding spot, praying it would leave him alone. But it didn't. The skeleton stood there, eerily still, as if waiting for him to come out. Its movements were unnatural, with hollow eyes that seemed to follow his every move. The worst part? The man disappeared shortly after, and all that's left is his last shaky recording. In a pitch-black tunnel, a man came face-to-face with something truly terrifying. As he walked carefully, his flashlight caught a figure moving in the distance. It wasn't a person, it was a ghost, crawling on its knees towards the end. At first, it seemed like the figure was moving straight towards him. But the man steadied his camera and kept recording. Instead of running away, he followed the ghost and captured its creepy form as it vanished deeper into the shadows. Most people would have run for their lives, but this guy stayed put, proving he might just be braver or crazier than the rest of us. Creepy tunnels from World War II are haunted by soldiers who never found peace. One night, a curious person decided to go into one of these tunnels, when suddenly a ghostly figure of a man appeared at the end of the tunnel. It wasn't just a shadow. The figure had sharp, piercing eyes that stared right at him before vanishing into thin air. Frozen in fear, the man bolted from the tunnel, shaken to the core. To this day, he can't explain what he saw. He kept hearing strange sounds from the abandoned tunnel that was closed to the public, and for good reason, considering what he was about to run into. As the creepy sounds grew louder, he stopped at this point, and from around the corner crept a pair of glowing eyes that were watching the cameraman. It was really scary, and it got even worse, when a few seconds later, another pair of glowing eyes popped out from behind. Both of them were staring at him, and he decided to retreat. He described seeing this and said he felt sinister intentions from those haunting eyes. If this demon is real, then I'm as rich as Bezos. These guys went into a cave or an abandoned mine somewhere in Iraq and supposedly found a real demon inside. I don't know if their audience is young and easily fooled, but they focus too much on the creature, which makes it obvious that someone was wearing a monkey suit. But not all encounters are like that. Some are real, like this one coming up now. This mysterious video was shot in a cave in Nevada and shockingly close to the location of the mysterious cave where Kenny V disappeared all those years ago. He found strange eggshells lying on the rocks, and inside, he even found strange creature remains. Some were empty, which totally confused him, but he was too curious, and that was a mistake. Something suddenly emerged from the darkness and startled him. It was a dragon, or at least it looked like one, as he tried to escape, but the creature was right behind him. Is it possible that these two caves are connected? Or even worse, are they the same? Oh my gosh. In the Austrian mountains, there's a mysterious cave known as the Ice Cave, and it's more than just that. In 2009, tourists noticed some movement on the cave ceiling, but they couldn't see what it was. Soon, though, the creature became visible and was crawling on the ceiling like a lizard. Here's where things get creepier. The tourists said the entire wall was soaked and water was constantly dripping. Plus, it was crazy cold inside, and this cryptid only had pale skin. It wasn't an animal, so they called it the Ice Cave Ghost. Someone climbing the wall. It's the Iceman. It's the ghost. A terrifying black creature with multiple horns was filmed in an abandoned place. The creature was huge, with skin that couldn't be described as human. It was clearly angry, but the situation got worse when it tried to grab the person filming. This black creature tried to move, but it was trapped in this forsaken place. That's how the cameraman escaped with his life. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened. This scary video leaves everyone speechless. Near the cave wall, a man saw something truly terrifying. 3 creatures appeared from the shadows, each one strange and disturbing. One was large and hidden behind a rock, and nearby, 2 smaller figures huddled together, blending with the darkness. Were they waiting for something? The last one was the most surprising, with a red color that stood out in the dark. These creatures were scary, and Neeson said they must be guarding something in the cave, but no one is brave enough to confront them. Not everything needs to be documented, and this creepy encounter proves it. A reporter encountered a strange man in an abandoned hospital. She got creepily close, and the camera caught a terrifying thin man who looked frail. But despite his size, this hermit was menacing. He was a patient here, and what he was caught doing is disgusting. She'd heard rumors of screams and a bad smell. Now the footage proves it wasn't just gossip. This place is creepy and incredibly disturbing. Finding the remains of a giant in a cave isn't something everyone stumbles upon, but this guy did. Ryan Osman was traveling from Surani to Krabi Town in Thailand when he heard about this mysterious cave with strange remains, so he filmed everything as proof. And the locals weren't lying. There was a giant in the cave, still half buried. But something isn't right. Did you notice there's another skeleton of a snake? Now, some believe the snake caused the giant's demise, while others think it was the giant's pet. What if it was real? That would be so cool. In 2018, a curious local decided to explore an old abandoned house. You'd think he'd find cobwebs or creepy echoes, but what he found was straight out of a nightmare. As he stepped inside, a goblin-like creature suddenly appeared, yelling and throwing stones as if defending its territory. Terrified, the man froze, trying to understand what he was seeing. Before he could react, the creature jumped onto the roof with inhuman speed, glaring angrily at him as a warning. Luckily, the man managed to capture a few shaky moments on camera before fleeing the scene. A group of tomb raiders exploring a NASA cave in Peru stumbled upon a strange blue alien. This certainly wasn't the treasure they were expecting. A blue, incredibly tall alien was lying there on the ground, scaring the tomb raiders. It even moved its hands a little, as if trying to tell them it was alive. Obviously, everyone was scared and felt threatened, so they decided it was best to leave. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.